Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Leo. So, Leo, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. And so, today, Leo, even though you're showing up with your nature here very vibrant, very vivid, very powerful, I do feel like you are in a moment of your life where you can say, you reached stability, mental stability, emotional stability, and that really grounds you in the sense that you're not making decisions or taking actions impulsively. And in terms of how that ignites you or how that inspires you, it really brings about your best, which is beautiful because I feel like you're about to receive some sort of gift or manifestation that is here. It's really close. It's almost like it has already been delivered, but you're in no rush to open it or to it's like there is no desire to like skip steps. It's almost like you know that you need like a mental clarity, a mental sense of calmness, so that things happen in a pace that it's not overwhelming. And what I'm hearing right now, it's overshadowing you. And I don't know if that's a word, but it's what I heard. So you are in a place that I feel like it's not necessarily your usual, but it's actually like your nature times 10, or it's like it's in this level of a higher potential of who you already are, right? And how you know that that is a way for you to continue in a very stable pace, in a very steady pace, to grow more and more into your sovereign self. So let's begin with the Four of Swords, which is this card that actually it talks about serenity, because this card fell on the ground and it was upside down. So not upside down, but facing down. So I didn't see it until I turned it. But my impulse was not to, go straight for it and see what it was. It wasn't as curious or as impulsive. It was actually like a very soft and gentle weight, right? It's almost like that you have that thing in front of you, or that opportunity or that gift, right? Because it is what the next card is talking about. The Magician has a gift for you, which is this card, right? It's almost like the very moment that I saw the Magician, I saw this image of an email entering your inbox. And that was something that you were expecting, that you wanted, that you imagined, that you asked for, that you were waiting for, right? Talking about waiting, but it's like mentally very stable. It's like there was no anxiety, there was no agony, there was no rush. But the moment that this email arrives or just enters your inbox and you perhaps receive a notification, you're not rushing into opening it and seeing what it's written or what it has for you, right? It's almost like the Magician upright, for me, it always brings, or most of the times brings, secrets or gifts or mysteries that are about to be revealed, but it's like they're still hidden in some way underneath the hat. There are a few glimpses that are already escaping through the hat. So there is this notion that it's something very special, is very meaningful most of all. But because of the Four of Swords, right, this is the gift. It's almost like the gift itself is learning how to wait without anxiety, or without this need to rush time, right? It's like you have control over your time because you have control over your mind. And because of that, you also seem to have control over the gifts that you receive, or if you could see that as a manifestation that you called in, right? That it's part of what you have desired, and it's like you've done your part, right? So now the universe is here handing you the manifestation that is the response, or it's like this, it's just a reply, right? This is how I'm picturing the email. It's like the email is not, it's not a surprise, essentially. It's something that you have been waiting for, but it's not like this anxious wait, right? So the gift is here. You know it's here. You know it's for you. So it's okay to wait until you know what is the right time to open it, because what you're doing before you open this gift, the Six of Cups, is taking you back. And I want to say this is almost like this, not quick reflection, but it feels like a very rapid type of flashback to a moment in your life, because to me the Six of Cups talks about revisiting the past, but revisiting with, it's almost like because you have control over time and over your mind, over your manifestation, you go back in time, right? It's like you have control, you can dominate this back and forth in this timeline, in this mental timeline, but also in the emotional timeline, right? Because back in a moment where perhaps you were waiting for a manifestation to come through, it's like you were very impulsive, because the difference between where you are right now and how you compare yourself to, your previous version of, I don't know, maybe a few months, a few years back, is that here it's kind of like this giddiness of, this teenage type of love, right? Falling in love for the first time. It's like there's nothing else that you want to do but to be with that person and think about that person and do things for that person or with that person, right? It's like that type of urgency, right? That type of, nothing else matters besides this love, besides this relationship, besides this moment, right? So it feels very present. It feels very passionate, very intense, right? But it also brings this sense of urgency, which I feel like for some reason you are in a moment of your life that has been matured, or it's evolved to the point that you know now that there is no need to, it's like you're not gonna miss what the magician has for you, right? Like perhaps you had the impression that if you didn't meet that person, like that person would disappear or vanish or, not love you perhaps. But there is no sense of urgency. It's almost like you know that this gift is meant for you. So whatever this manifestation is that is just entering your perception field or your email inbox, whatever it is, or your doorstep, right? If it's something coming from the mail, it's like you know that there is no rush to open that. You can take your time, and in taking your time you can compare, right? And by contrast, you will understand, you will perceive the difference between your reaction right now and your reaction back then, where emotionally things felt all over the place, right? And here with the Four of Cups coming next, this is where you understand, or this is where you really, it's like this full comprehension, right? This mental stability translating into emotional stability. This is what the Four of Cups is talking about, because the fours to me, they bring the stability, right? Something that is grounded, something that is stable, that is reliable, that is trustworthy. So you can trust your mind, you can trust your heart, right? And by contrast, you understand why back then, in that previous moment in your life, maybe you thought that you needed to rush, because it's almost like maybe you thought that you wouldn't be able to manifest another partner like that, right? It's like you would lose that, or lose that opportunity if it's not a relationship. But here, with the emotional stability of the Four of Cups, it's almost like that intensity is, it's not that it's decreasing and you're losing passion. It's just a sense of urgency that is decreasing, right? The emotional stability gives you the sense of being able to, it's almost like, it's almost like it's not a matter of, you know, black or white or rational or emotional. Sorry about the noise. Um, it's a matter of joining both. Both of these are going to bring you stability. It's almost like the at the same time that you know that you have this control over your thoughts, you do have control over your emotions, and therefore it's this it's almost like this joining forces of mental and emotional stability, serenity, right? The sense of peace, not urgency. So because of that, it's like it's okay to open this later, right? Or to wait for the right moment to see what's underneath this hat, or to see what that email says, or to open the box, or whatever it is, because you do have this, right? Which is almost like it starts with your mind deciding to just give yourself some time, but then it translates into, because of this reflection, because of this revisiting of a past reaction and how different it is right now, it's like it translates into emotional stability at the same time. And that is almost like this what is the word, groundwork that really inspires you, because this Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, it is representing you. And before the other two cards came through, it was already very clear to me that you have control over your impulses. So it starts with control over your mind, then it goes to the emotions, and then to your impulses. Maybe creative impulses, maybe passionate relationships or connections, or like your general desires, right? Things that you would, before this moment, it's like you would perhaps just allow your impulse to take you, right? And maybe your actions wouldn't really give you the results or bring you the manifestation that would bring you satisfaction. Just a second. Sorry about that. So, going back to your Queen of Fire, your impulses, because you seem to be more and more in control over your mind, over your emotions, and most of all, over your impulses, it feels like you are no longer burning yourself, or creating those expectations that if they don't bring the manifestation, then they would generally create frustration and disappointment and deception, not on others, but mostly on you, or perhaps this self-doubt of, you know, questioning your potential, questioning your creativity, questioning your talents, questioning your integrity, whatever it is. But here, it seems like because you know where to find stability, or how to create the perfect conditions, right? Because to me, also the fours, they do talk about the environment, right? It's like, it's almost like the four corners of a room, but this is almost like this mental room and this emotional room. It's your internal space. So because you know how to ground yourself, doing this groundwork of just taming this wildfire that would eventually burn you, right? And just, it's almost like diminish your own inspiration, or your own sense of leadership, or even desire, right? It could, you know, potentially drain your energy instead of ignite you even more. So now, by contrast, because you do take time to reflect upon how you would react, you know, previously, and how you are reacting right now, you do feel like what you carry inside continues to flow, continues to move you, continues to drive you, but in a way that it's not damaging, it's not self-destructive, but rather, as I said, it enhances your own true nature, the sun being the ruler of Leo, right? So we do have these two symbols for your fire, for your energy, for your nature. But instead of being something that would destroy you from the inside out, because you would just, you know, very blindly, or very maybe even naively, just go for it, and, you know, without thinking about the consequences, you wouldn't wait for the right moment to receive and open your gifts. Or, and we could we could see this as like literally your own gifts, right? Your talents, the resources that you carry within you. It's like, allow that to mature. It's like, give yourself time for that gift, for that inner gift, which is also like this ability to manifest, right? But with your creativity, with your potential, in a way that it's like, how do I describe this? The sun is never going to shut off. It's not going to be turned off. It's not going to decrease in amount of light, in amount of like source of inspiration, right? Because this is you. It's like you seem to have like this never ending amount of light. It's almost like you know that you have this boiling inside of you, but if you allowed back then, right, your anxiety to kick in, it would eventually, like this sense of urgency would maybe make you question yourself, question your potential, question your value. But then here, because you know how different it is right now, you have this control over your nature, and it's almost like you can choose where you want to shine this light of yours. And it's almost like, it's not like you're going to choose as a spotlight. It's not like that, because it's the sun, right? The sun just shines. It's not artificial light. It's almost like maybe this is the difference between back then and now. If we're talking about like a creative project or something that just moved you, right, that you were very passionate about, it's almost like here it would be like something very quick, right? It's like it would burn to the ground like from the start. It's like it would be very intense, but then it would fade away. And then with the sun, because it's cyclical and it's never ending, it's like this source of light that it's always there. It continues going on, right? It's never turned off. It's like this control that you find yourself in, right? This emotional and mental stability brings about the best version of you in a way that it's not going to be turned off. It's not going to be shut down. It's not going to be diminished. It's not going to be ignored, right? And it's like it's almost like your presence from now on, it's going to illuminate entirely. It's almost like I'm thinking about areas of life, right? If we're talking about like reacting in such a way with this sense of urgency and angst and anxiety, maybe it would be just for your romantic life, or just for your professional life, or just your family life. It would be very specific, right? But here it's all around illumination, right? It's like it's in every aspect of your life. And therefore, because you're more in control of your impulses, every single area is going to benefit from this natural light of yours. And what that brings in a very tangible way, I want to say, not just financially or in terms of your success, because the Nine of Pentacles is bringing like maybe the material manifestation, right? The thing that is visible, but it's the sense of sovereignty that lies beneath the material aspect. Because again, as I'm saying, it's like, it's not just one focus, it's not just one area, it's all around success, it's all around sovereignty, and it's very reliable because you are stable. Your inner path, your inner sun is bringing you this emotional, mental stability, so that every step that you take, it's like it's grounding you. But you're not grounded because of the money, you see what I mean? Or because of the clients, or because of the relationships. You're grounded because your nature is shining brightly in a way that it's not going to burn you, right? It's almost like this very, what is the word? It's like this very natural light. It's like it's very soft, it's very serene, right? So it's not going to burn you. It's not going to make you do things or make choices that are then going to create results or outcomes that are not, they're not to your satisfaction or to your appeal, right? It's like, that this path that now you're building, it is very solid, it is very reliable. And because it's not dependent upon the gift or the manifestation or the money or the whatever it is that it's underneath this hat or underneath the words in the email or the box that you got from the mail, right? It's because you are different. You are shining brightly. You are walking this path and you are illuminating every single area of your life with this mental, emotional stability, right? So that's fascinating, Leo, because even though you do have a lot of fire, right? It's almost like that is under control. And maybe for the first time, at least that you can remember, right? Because it is important that you do remember, because that grounds you. It really helps to ground you emotionally and stabilize, in a sense, your mind and your heart. So, wow, what a message. I just wonder how specifically that is going to happen for each and every one of you. So, Leo, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.